And there was, snowbanks 10 feet in each side of us. I usually say 20 feet, but I'm trying to tell the truth now.
You'll never find another guy like old Doc Mainprize. Never.
My grandfather, Elmer Kramer, was probably in my head, probably one of the least likely guys to be a community-minded guy. He was very entrepreneurial, and he could be pretty gruff, and he was very no nonsense. And the only guy he willingly did favors for was the infamous Doc Mainprize. That was one guy that Elmer would actually drop things for. Mostly, he thought everyone was a stupid son of a bitch. Especially the more he got to know them. That included his own sons. But for some reason, and Doc Mainprize birthed every kid in Elmer's world. Birthed his children, birthed all of his grandchildren. And Elmer might not have had a lot of love for adults, but he loved kids. He loved his grandkids. And everyone loved the fact that Mainprize brought their children into the world safely. And that when we had any kind of trouble, that's where we went. And it instilled a community with a certain amount of confidence that your medical situation would be taken care of by Doc Mainprize, with the community right behind, making sure whatever horse needed to be liveried up and hauled 9 miles down the road, people did it because they knew that he was an integral part of a strong community.
We ask ourselves sometimes how we become connected to the land, or why is the environment important to us, or why is an individual place important to us. And that's the kind of question that only comes to de-indigenized people who really don't know who they are, where they belong. And I include myself amongst it. We see the environment as being something other, outside of us. In our deep ancestral past as humans, as hominids, we all knew that we were in the environment was in us, and that, in the most extreme form, all of our cycling of nutrients starts in the soil, comes through our bodies and returns, right? In a sense, our alimentary canal is connected to the land directly, and it was never a question to even be considered. But today we ask that because we are an uprooted, de-indigenized civilization, and unfortunately we've done that de-indigenizing wherever we go.
We went to town one day and there was a farm sale bill up, and my sister looked at it and she said, "That's our stuff." Anyway, I was at that time about 13 years old, and if you can imagine a day in May when it doesn't get dark until about 11 o'clock at night, we had a sale. Everybody come, bought their machinery, everybody was leaving. I mean, they sold everything. They had bought a little house in town and had furnished it, so they sold the stove, the cutlery, there was nothing. And then everybody started leaving. And my older brother was 4 years older than me. He was there, but he had a job, and my sister had a job. But I was, nobody wants a 13, 14-year-old kid around, but I guess. Anyway, so I was sort of sitting there thinking, well, maybe I'm going to town with them or something. My stepmother said, well, we're getting in the car, but we just have to leave you here. We don't have room for you. And the coyotes were, it was along the river, and they were howling, and my dog was gone, my pony was gone. I had what I was wearing. And I don't know, I was sort of thinking, well, should I sleep in the house with nothing in it, or should I go up in the loft and sleep in the hay or whatever? I can't really tell you what that was like when that car drove out of the yard.